Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related, please, people. A lot to discuss, as always, with Manchester United, and it is the Tuesday edition of the show as well. So I'm joined by my Don Ivorian Spice, Mr. Red United TV in the building. What are you telling me, Ivorian? You good?
Man's good, man. You know what I'm saying, bro. Do you know why I'm good? Because of course, answers have been, prayers have been answered. In terms of the weekend, we never expected that, in it, flawless. Certain men's decided to just say, you know what, I'm tired of being on the waiting list. Are you gonna give me a new contract or not? I'm gonna cut, and that's what took place on the weekend. But apart from that, I'm good. I've had a good weekend. Manchester United are returning back to pre-season training, and pre-season is about to start. And of course, we've still got one transfer that's probably going to be coming on the way by the end of this week. So it's looking good for us, man. How are you,
Yeah,
bro?
I'm blessed, man. I'm all good. Like you said, I'm good outside of football. And with Manchester United, I like what I'm seeing as well. You mentioned it, and we'll discuss it. Obviously, the Andre Onana deal that's supposed to be done by this week still links with Hoyland, links with Amrabat. I'm sure something will probably break during this show as well, and we'll be answering all your questions as well. Before I bring in the special guest, please make sure you hit the like button on the video, though, people. Make sure you do that, whether you're watching live right now or watching this back after the live. Hit the like button on the video, share this across all of the socials, and on top of those two things, subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And the special guest we've got on today, one very knowledgeable, you know what I'm saying? New entrant into the league, which makes the league stronger, number one. Two, very knowledgeable. Three, consistent out of the gate, which is important as well. And the only man in this time zone I've seen do streams later than me. So I gotta commend him for that. You know what I'm saying? Serious. That's a big look. When I see man go live, I was like, yo, I'm live after. I was like, rah, mazel. You know what I'm saying? Big up man like Rhino in the
Yeah,
building.
big
Yes,
up,
Rhino.
man. Big up,
He's
man. We're
saying.
live. We're live. Yeah, man. I'm trying, man. You're the inspiration, man. You're the inspiration, man. You feel me? You got the work rate locked in, man. Big up
Love
Ivorian
you.
as well, man. Big up,
Big
man.
up,
Them.
bro.
Love for having me, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
let me even
Anytime you
change
already
my.
know. You already know, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
You already
change
know.
my subject for that's on my last stream. I'm trying to get
It's
the
all
work done. You know what I mean?
nah, I hear that, man. It's all good. So make sure you subscribe to Rhino's channel. I will add it in the
hmm
title in a second. One of the mods, please drop it in the comment section as well. And I obviously add Ivorian's channel link to the title as well. But yeah, we'll start with the actual title, and we'll start with you, Ivorian, because you said our
Mhm.
prayers have been answered. Because I spoke on it yesterday. Well, I don't think we've spoke on it though since it's happened. So it seems Andre Onana, that deal is going to be done by this week. We've agreed personal terms. It's just a question of the bid being accepted, and we're not too far apart. And
Mhm.
obviously, De Gea leaving as well, which I don't
Mhm.
think we've actually spoken about. So thoughts on those two things?
First of all, let's start off with let's address the David De Gea situation because he's the elephant in the room as well. Some say
Yep.
he got done dirty. Some say what, it was right for him to leave and move on in this kind of manner. But in my honest opinion, you know what, I don't give a damn. I've been asking for ruthless aggression from Manchester United for a very long time when it comes to even your favorite players, even my favorite players, especially if they're not performing in the United kit. And we've complained about David De Gea's mistakes on inability to play out from the back as
True.
well, causing us all sorts of problems, restricting us from playing the football that Ten Hag wants to play. And it's not just this season; it's been the last 3 or 4 seasons where we've noticed that David De Gea is not the same goalkeeper that he used to be. And
Yeah.
it's about time we moving on. And today is the right time. Was it during the weekend? A keeper that's on 350K a week, that can't play out from the back with his feet. It's a crime, man. It's a crime at the end of the day. It's a crime because we've got keepers who are just way more under less than him, who can do way much more than him.
Mhm.
Play keepers like Allison, keepers like Anderson, even Andre Onana to an extent can do way more than what David De Gea can do. One-on-ones, playing out from the back, interplays, all sorts, coming out, commanding his box, sweeping, plus more. So to me, it doesn't hurt me. It's just David De Gea's sexual that think, oh, he deserves a bit better than he needs a send off. I asked everyone the same question: did Roy Keane get a send off when he was told to go? Did
True.
David Beckham get a send off? True legends like that. Eric Cantona never really got a send off as well. A lot of players who achieved way more than David De Gea, Van Nistelrooy never got send off. So not everyone gets a send off, you know. And I was telling people in life, yeah, there's people die every day, people are being born every day, people lose their jobs, and people being hired. This is part of life, you know. At the end of the day, David De Gea walks out with a nice paycheck, you know, and then again walks into another paycheck, which the money that we can never ever have, you know, all we can do is dream of. So there's nothing for me to say that, you know, I'm upset. But the Andre Onana situation,
Talk about
again, brilliant situation to be in, because I asked a lot of David De Gea fans, if you're telling me David De Gea should stay or we should bring in a new keeper, give me an example of who. And they couldn't really give me an example of which keeper. They gave me Diogo Costa, but again, I told them, but they're quoting ridiculous fees, and they're even saying that the fee that we're paying for Andre Onana is a bit too much, but which is not technically true. It's not.
I think it's a
reasonable.
Great, what is the
It's a
saying
reasonable
on the
amount.
I think it's like 40 million or something like that. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Yeah,
compared
nice
to
fee,
being
man.
compared to being quoted almost close to 80 million euros for Diogo Costa, who's also making equivalent amount of mistakes that what Andre Onana is making. And people want to compare the mistakes that David De Gea or Andre Onana is making as well. But let's just be real, man. Andre Onana's mistakes and David De Gea mistakes. I think David De Gea has been making mistakes from the moment he signed for us, so he's accountable. I've held account for that since 2009, 8. The guy's been making mistakes from his debut all the way to up to his last game. So, but Andre Onana is an excellent keeper, playing out from the back as well. I've never seen an Italian manager, be so praiseful at the, especially when he sees Andre Onana do amazing things with the ball, carrying the ball from the goalkeeper, and excellent passes to bring the ball straight from goalkeeper straight to the offensive side of the game. And again, Italian managers are defensive minded manager. They don't praise stuff like attacking plays, attacking passes, forward passes, and all that kind of stuff. And the things about that, you look at him and you saw what Pep said about him. He said he's a goalkeeper that you can't even play the press on, you know, because he's good at coming out of the press, you know, finding balls. Sorry, I'm gonna need to pause on that. Right away. So yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I'm happy with the goalkeeper that we're getting, because I know exactly he's a top keeper, playing at a top club as well, knows how to win trophies. He's been there. Eric Ten Hag knows him well, so he's a goalkeeper that can come and adjust to the philosophy easily. But the only thing he needs to adjust to is the rhythm and the pace of the Premier League. And I can tell he's a strong keeper who can command his area as well, who can sweep, who's brave enough as well. But the only thing we've heard that he likes to come into midfield, you know. And I saw that video when Bruno's calling up for help, and you see Kanye West running down the road. I think Andre Onana could be capable of it. But let's be real, all goalkeepers make mistakes, and I expect mistakes to be made from Andre Onana's times. But I think he'll probably make less mistakes. And again, the keeper that makes the less mistakes helps team win the championship. That's how championship teams win, isn't it? You have a keeper, you make mistakes, but as long as he makes the least mistakes and gets us the points, I'm happy with that, man. Let's hope this transfer gets done by the end of Wednesday, because we want him on the plane, flying out to America straight away. Let's not waste time. Yeah.
No, I fully agree. Like it is. I hear exactly what you're saying. Rhino thoughts, the hair leaving. Onana, it seems it should be done. All the top journalists are saying it should be done by this week. So your thoughts on both them things?
In regards to De Gea, yeah, it's just something that had to happen, man. It had to happen. I understand everyone, you know, wanting to complain in terms of, oh, he should have got a send off and whatnot. But like I've already said, loads of legends didn't get the right send off. Certain managers that did their thing didn't get the right kind of, like, you know, goodbyes and whatnot as well. So, you know, we're moving with the times, and we're not old to how the Glazers move. So it just is what it is, man. Like, and I see some people trying to say, oh, it's Ten Hag. Listen, Ten Hag's had one hand tied behind his back for how long? So listen, when we're looking for problems with what Ten Hag's, in terms of what control he has, we don't know, man. Everyone, I had a conversation with somebody, and they was like to me, oh, yeah, but he signed a contract. He's going to be in control of certain things. Listen, with Glazonomics, you can sign whatever. When they want what they want, they want what they want. For all we know, what Ten Hag wanted Rangnick. Glazers didn't want Rangnick for sure. You know, at first I thought it was Ten Hag that didn't want Rangnick, but definitely Glazer didn't, because of what he was saying before his exit. You know what I'm saying? So and look at the talent ID he has. So, yeah, man, De Gea had to go. You know, we're playing progressive football. We're playing, look, Brighton game, Brentford game. Ten Hag's way is playing up from the back. Is keeping the ball. He wants players confident on the ball, and that's one thing De Gea is not confident on the ball. De Gea doesn't command his box. But I love De Gea. You know, for everything he's served for the club in terms of shot stopping and the times in his peak when he was a great goalkeeper. I'm not ever going to forget that, you know. So I'm never going to slander him and say, yes, get out and whatnot. And it is what it is, man. I feel like we're in a time where people are a bit emotional. I get emotional sometimes. I'm guilty of it, you know, guilty. But yeah, it just is what it is, man. So De Gea had to go. Onana coming in is a very, very good big change for the club. Think about it like this. We've said all the top managers change their goalkeepers at some point. So to finally see such a drastic, deep change at Manchester United is great for me. It's nerve-wracking as well because it's, okay, you know what? There's going to be a lot of baby teething problems and whatnot, and it's not going to be a straight process. Like Ivorian said, he's going to make mistakes, and I hope our fan base have the patience and just have the longevity to believe that, listen, just give him time, let him adjust to the pace of the league, let him know when to step and when not to, because he's going to have to learn all of that, you know. Certain things he tries in when he's playing for Inter, he's not going to be doing in the Prem. I saw a video of him trying to do a little shimmy with the ball, and then the player took the ball from him and scored. Obviously, that was a while ago, but we're going to see similar things. But I believe just the way he plays, the confidence on the ball, the command in the box, when we're receiving corners and we've got free kicks against us, when we're playing up from the back, as long as our right backs and centre backs can adjust to him now, they're going to have to start going to spaces now. Because with Onana, as soon as he grabs the ball, he's looking who's running. So as long as our back four can adjust to how he plays as well, and he can adjust to the Premier League, I think he's going to be a massive, massive, massive big step forward for us, man. We need that. Manchester, we're having a new goalkeeper. Can you believe it? It's mad. And that's a very, very big change. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. And I can see another thing that Ivorian said that I agree with in terms of just the ruthlessness that we're seeing. We're seeing players not getting their way. Sorry, mate, you're not playing. Maguire, in the interviews, I'm gonna say that, you know, you're my guy, but you're gonna see my real thoughts when I let out the team sheet, you know. So yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man. Hopefully, if he does get a send off, fair dues. But I'm not really stressing over it, you know, because personally, I haven't slandered him. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, in regards to Onana, just the way we're gonna play, I'm excited for it. It's gonna bring. It's a good move, man. Good move.
Yeah, and that's legit. Why am I like I'm with you on that, Rhino, in regard to Elijah. Everyone in the chat, continue to bump up the like, share, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Rhino's channel, subscribe to Ivorian's channel. Both links are in both links are in the title. So you click the links on both the channels and it'll open up new tabs and you go subscribe and you can find their socials there as well. In regards to it, yeah, David, we're gonna get to that as well in regard to the whole Pogba situation. Because yeah, that's something I forgot about. So large up all of you lot. I never slandered De Gea heavily. I think people think once you have been at a club for so long or had success, which he has had here, been our player of the season 4 years in a row, you can't criticize, you can't critique. And it's like, no, because I've critiqued better players than David De Gea. I've critiqued 2 better goalkeepers than David De Gea. I've critiqued Peter Schmeichel, I've critiqued Van der Sar, and I've critiqued De Gea. And it's not over the top, it's fair criticism. It's not, oh, criticism, you're terrible, get out of my club. I don't think De Gea is a terrible goalkeeper, no. I just think times have moved on. The game has evolved. If this was still when he got here originally in 2011 or 2010 when he signed, cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's absolutely fine. But it's either evolve or die. And that's not just within football at the highest level. That's at the highest level of anything. You know what I'm saying? Things are always evolving, and the game of football has evolved since he was here, and it will evolve again in 2033. Goalkeepers might go back to the old school, and it might be where goalkeepers is not playing out from the back, and it's more about kicking it long and getting it and kicking it long to the big man. We see the game evolve all the time, so that's why I don't understand these people saying, "Oh, De Gea, you can't criticize him." I want him out the club because I don't think he's what's best for the football club. And this whole thing about him not getting a send-off, and I've already mentioned it in terms of certain other legends not getting it. De Gea didn't care about getting a send-off when he tried to leave for Real Madrid. People conveniently forget this. That he tried to leave for Real Madrid. Where was his care for getting his send-off? Where was his care for us as fans? Not just us three, but the fans overall. Bear in mind, when he was going, that didn't leave us any time to go and get another number one. I believe it was Valdez in goal at that time. And he got dropped. People forget that as well. People love talking about attitude. People love what talking when it's players of asking complexion. People love talking about attitude.
Trust me.
People love it. You know what I'm saying? Love talking about attitude. But when he was dropped because mentally he wasn't right, oh man, people like to conveniently sweep that under the rug. Let Ten Hag come out today and say, you know what, Sancho's not right to start the season. His mentality is not right because he wants to move. Hear the criticism, or when Mourinho was here and that's Pogba, or let that be Martial. And it's right, people. Though I'm not saying it's wrong if a player's mentally not right to play because they want to move. That's fair to be criticized. That's fair criticism. But people like to sweep that under the rug. That's why I don't particularly care about him not getting a send-off. Because like I said, when he was trying to go Real Madrid, where was his send-off? Where was his care for his send-off? Where was his care for the fans? Where was his care for the football club? But I understand the only constant about football clubs is the fans. We'll be here 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Not just us three, but everybody else. These players, there's 99.9% of players will leave for a better situation. And I understand because it's a job to them. Certain players that do genuinely believe, like love the football club and wouldn't go to a better situation for more money. But that's few and far between. We've seen that with David De Gea. So that tells you all. That tells you all you need to know. In regards to Onana, over the moon. Like I said, I've only watched him a handful of times, but then people who I know who have watched him much more than me talk about how good he is. And I know he's an improvement under Gea playing out from the back, which is so important. Even if we're going to go with a more kick and run, you know what I'm saying, high energy, high pressing style, you still need your goalkeeper to be able to play out from the back. Because I've seen him distribute the ball long, which can set up attacks. If he plays the ball into a Rashford, a Anthony, whoever the striker is, Garnacho, a Palestri, a Sancho, etc., etc. So I'm all for it in regards to Onana, and he's commanding as well. But one of you man touched on, I think it was Rhino. Both of you man actually mentioned this. He's gonna make mistakes. People, there's no perfect goalkeeper out there. He's going to make mistakes. And I guarantee as soon as he make mistakes, the De Gea stands are going to be like, this is why we should have kept him. Right, 110%. This is why, the same way that Ollie stands were quick to get onto Ten Hag when he lost. This is why.
To this day. To this day.
To this day.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we went on such a long run without losing, and you could see the improvement Ten Hag made. We lost one match, and it was like everybody on him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to happen. Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the league. I've seen him make mistakes. So if the best goalkeeper in the league can make mistakes, why can Onana not make mistakes? And he's going to make a mistake. You've seen him on the ropes. He's going to make a mistake playing out from the back as well. That's going to happen. He's going to make a mistake playing out from the back. People see, look, this is what you have to trust the goalkeeper and trust the manager, because that's going to happen. Eventually, you're going to get caught. Like, for real, for real. Big up to Jason as well for the super chat. Much appreciated. He says, afternoon, lads. Big up to Jason McNeil. Large up everyone in the chat. Over 70 of you lot now in the building. Only at 27 likes, though. Let's get us up to 40 likes, people. Like, check 1212. Let's bump up these likes. Share this across all of the socials you are active on and subscribe to the channel. Sarcasm City TV as well. We are at 7,165. We're looking for 5 more subscribers. Get us to 7,170. There's over 70 of you lot in the building. I'm only asking for 5 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button. And if you do indeed super chat like Jason did here, I will get straight to your comment or question as well. But big up for the super chat, man. Hope everyone's good as well. Like I'm just seeing here. Like Thomas says, it could be good, but Onana seems pretty emotional to me, worries me. What do you mean by this, Thomas, when you say emotional? You know what I'm saying? Let us know, please. Big up to Shakar as well. Big up David Sa as well. Big up Ed. Big up Emma K. Yardman Serginio. Good to have you in the, in the chat, Yardman. It's been a minute. Good to see you. Ed says people need to be understanding that Onana is going to make hella mistakes early. Gives me Barthez vibes in both a good and a bad way. I don't think he'll make a lot of mistakes, but is he going to make mistakes? Yes, but that's every goalkeeper. Like I said, any goalkeeper is gonna make mistakes. Samson says, big up to the panel spitting facts. Never understand why some fans accuse footballers of being mercenaries, such as Neves going to Saudi. It's a job as it is, as if the critics wouldn't take the piece. That's legit.
I'm a mercenary myself. I look for the most paying job, every job I apply for.
Fam,
We're all in it for money, right?
Let them come to you the job that you're doing now in Saudi, and they say, right, we're gonna double your pay. You're gonna say, yeah, I'm there. I'm saying, I'll see you tomorrow.
No. I'm there by the time the phone call ends, bro. I'm like, Habibi, I'm in Saudi, and welcome to Red United TV, Habibi. But no, one important thing that I have to say to everyone regarding the David De Gea situation, when I say big up the manager, it's very important that we fix the way we play, and it only starts from the foundation, and the foundation is the goalkeeper. And that just tells me that he wants to transform the way we play. And we all moan and say, oh, what about the striker? You know, we need a striker. But we need a goalkeeper in order to play the way we want to play, because it starts from the back. The ball starts from the back and makes its way and progresses its way from midfield. So you start from the goalkeeper and then address the defense. Then you move on to midfield. And then striker's the cherry on top. What's the point of having a top striker if we're not creating chances from the goalkeeper all the way up to midfield? If we're not getting that ball there? And our problem have been getting balls through to from defense to midfield, and then from the midfielder to supply the strikers. I know we've created a lot of chances last season. No one was eating their dinner, but again, we wasn't creating enough clear-cut chances. You guys know what I mean. We wasn't creating enough clear-cut chances. Yeah. We were just taking shots from outside the box or just getting there. So again, bringing a keeper like Onana, it just transforms the way Manchester United want to play. I'm there thinking, if you bring in Onana, what are the formations like? Are we doing a 4-2-3-1? Are we doing a 4-3-3 that we've been waiting to see from Manchester United for a very long time, even including the likes of Mason Mount? Because I can see a transformation happening for the Manchester United formation.
To me.
You think so too? I see it. I see it.
Can't play Bruno or Mount in a pivot. It's got to be 4-3. No more. You cannot play that.
I can't deal with that. There needs to be an enforcer in the midfield to tell them guys to calm down, bro. And that will be Casemiro, and that's the only way it can work. But yeah, I see it, man. But again, everyone needs to know that, of course, we commend David De Gea's career. He's been one of our best goalkeepers. We're not here to slander him. You know, we can champion him, but all error comes to an end, as our manager Ten Hag said in his first press conference. And his era has come to an end. And you guys can see it. I don't want to see David De Gea making constant mistakes, regressing in front of my eyes all weekend, because that's going to cost Manchester United some points and some trophies. I rather let him go right now, where he can, you know, be an important player elsewhere and regress gracefully somewhere else, you know, without it being highlighted. Because at the end of the day, if he makes mistakes here, it's costing Manchester United a lot. And I don't think David De Gea sexuals want to be seeing their goalkeeper just deteriorate like that. And I don't want to see it. You guys don't want to see it. You know, I said it before, Flawless, last week. It was hard when you were seeing Mike Tyson deteriorate and he was taking L's in matches and he was just losing. Yeah, and you know the legacy he has.
Yeah, you don't want to see man over the hill when you know what level he was at. Yeah, 110%. I hear you. But go on, carry on.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I want to point out, man, my guy. So big up to David De Gea. He's been amazing for Manchester United for the last 12 years. It's been an excellent say. It's just unfortunate that the last 7 or 8 years of his career was wasted by Wally Gunnar Solskjaer and Mourinho and El Vigicolo taught him how to play from the back, because just when it got good, when Ten Hag come, he has to leave, because I can see us becoming successful. But he's gonna leave when we become successful, win probably the league again. I hope so, fingers crossed, and win some champs in the near future. It's just unfortunate he was there at the bad part of Manchester United's era, because he deserves trophies. You guys can agree with me. He does deserve some trophies, some accolades. But unfortunately,
he's got his accolades here. That's the thing.
Premier League.
He won every trophy by the Champions League, which is success.
But not multiple times like the others.
It wasn't multiple. No, it wasn't multiple. But yeah, like that's what it is. Like that's why I give De Gea his plaudits, his credit. I say, yo, fan favorite, cult hero, was here for 12 years, did your job pretty much. There's very few seasons where in that 12 years where you was poor, there's probably 2 or 3. That's a great return. Out of 12 years, if you can say 9 out of the 12, he was good or better. Like I said, he was our player of the season 4 years in a row, especially when the team was bad. I gotta give him credit for that.
Held a record for clean sheets, right?
It's time to move on, fan favorite. I'm not here like, or heavily like I understand what it is. I'm not here heavily criticizing him. I'm not even saying he was wrong for wanting to go to Real Madrid. Like I understand that, especially being Spanish. But it was time to move on. You'll probably go Saudi Arabia, get a big check, or somebody who's gonna pick him up. He's not gonna leave the game. So that's what I would say. But yeah, man are saying it. Vaughan saying, yeah, we did lose the league to City on goal difference, largely to a lot of De Gea individual errors in the running. We all know about De Gea's individual errors, but what's understood ain't got to be spoke about. Like we seen it. This season was a prime example. The Sevilla game,
FA Cup final,
the FA Cup final. They're two huge games that potentially cost us 2 trophies. So that tells you all you need to know. Big up to Eddie in the chat as well, who says shout out to all y'all in the chat and the mods. Hit the like and subscribe, people. Big up to my guy Eddie. Man, share this across the socials, man. Large up Eddie. You can catch him here every Friday on the ManDem United podcast, as well as on Q&As and watch-alongs and everything else like that as well. Let's see what else you lot are saying in the chat before we move off of this topic. Vaughan goes on to say, isn't the one issue with Onana is that he's not particularly commanding in the box. He's not a great collector of crosses from his stats. I don't know. So I don't really pay. One thing I do know, he's better at, if he's trying to come and collect crosses, he's better than De Gea, because De Gea just stayed glued to his line.
Big up half time as well, man. I've had him on my show as well. Big up both
on your show? Okay, is this your guy? Okay. First. I don't know if it was your guy. Yeah, he just stays glued to his line. Like, that's no disrespect. So the fact that Onana's attempting to come and get crosses, I'm happy. That's an improvement.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something you can improve on as a goalkeeper as well, because Onana's not the finished article, people. And we're getting him at a cheap price. We're saying, what, 40 million, 45 million, which I'm surprised about. Someone would have said, what's the price you're getting for? I thought it would have been 60 or north of that, 70, to go get a number one goalkeeper who I believe is 27, who Ten Hag's worked with before, who has the fundamentals and everything we need and can get better as well. So the instance for coming across,
and you know what it is, flawless. Sorry to cut you off. I feel like it's such a good steal that, you know, Manchester United, like I just want them to just get this over the line. Like this whole end of the week thing is you know, like, I just want to secure this bag. You know, you get me? Because it feels same way with the Amrabat news as well. Like it just feels like, you know, maybe, I don't know, we just need to make sure we just secure this thing, and this is man's keeper. You feel me? Like I don't want to see no other team going in, but yeah, carry on, man. It's a good price, man. It's a good price. It's a good price for something that's going to revolutionize the way we play and bring a lot of confidence, you know. And I just hope these players adjust to it as well. You know, Luke Shaw, he's good in the ball, so I'm not worried about him. Martinez is good in the ball. Varane's not too perfect. I know he makes attempts.
He's competent enough on the ball.
But you know one thing I like about Varane? He's competent on both feet.
Yes. That's what I was saying to Bath Time on my show, because obviously I used to see him in the comments making good points, and the one time I just brought him in and he's been valid since then. But I feel like Varane's decent enough. I know sometimes he's got a bit of an awkward step with the way he runs, but yeah, he's good enough. You know, Wan-Bissaka is going to be interesting to see how he starts adjusting his position when Onana's got the ball and whatever. So, and what Lindelof should be all right as well, you know. So yeah, man, I think it can run, man, but 50 million euros.
Like
come on, man. Like for someone that's classed in that top kind of section of keepers in terms of class. So listen, let's go for it, man. Yeah, man.
Agreed. Like that's why I'm over the moon about it, because I'm like, look at the deal we're getting. I did not expect us to do a deal of this caliber. Bear in mind, people are conveniently forgetting as well. Like people conveniently forget about him trying to go to Real Madrid. He was Chelsea bound. He was linked with Chelsea, and that deal fell through. As to why Chelsea, Eddie's hilarious. As to why Chelsea didn't, that caught me off guard. I was saying, he said, didn't mention Maguire, right? I like your style. But in regards to why the Chelsea didn't go in for him and why the deal didn't go through, I'm not sure, because they was linked with him heavily, and it wasn't us. Then all of a sudden, it just broke one day. Chelsea no longer interested in Onana, and it was Manchester United, and then there's been nobody else. Bear in mind,
and I heard they're keeping Kepa as number one as well. That's what I heard.
Might as well.
That's what I did. Yeah, that's their lookout. You know what I'm saying? And that is their lookout. But yeah, we'll see in regards to Onana. Hopefully, like you said, get the deal done. That's what I'm on.
And from what we've seen so far on national TV and international TV for the Champions League matches, he's been impressive to me. The final, He stood up tall against Man City, made important saving, important blocks,
Yep.
distributed the ball out, and he was very commanding in the set pieces. Apart from, and in fact, he only conceded one goal. You look at the Milan derby; both keepers were impressive, but who was the most impressive goalkeeper? Was Onana on that day. So from what I've seen, I know we're acquiring a top quality goalkeeper that's one of the best in the world. That's probably, and on top of that, it's probably the top 10 or top 15 goalkeepers, especially when it comes to one-on-one situations. And I've seen the statistics, less mistakes. Come on, man. We have a keeper in David De Gea that's top 2. Him and Hugo Lloris of making the most mistakes in Europe. And Onana's nowhere near there as well. So that tells me what I need to know, man.
Yeah.
You know, I say eye test, but also the statistics don't lie as well. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, because I'm not saying Onana is the guy. I've not watched him like that. But for like I said, from what I've seen a handful of times, from highlights I've seen from people who watch Serie A much more regular than I do, everybody waxes lyrical about him. Shout out to Mo from Never a Foul. He's an Inter Milan fan. He can't speak highly enough of him. And if he was terrible, he would say like he's invested. That's his team. So I'm not even sat here saying Onana's the guy. He has no weaknesses. I'm all for it though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm all for it. Let's see what else you lot are saying in the chat as well. Yeah, we'll get to this actually because this broke today. I'm saying big up Chicago.
Yeah, you guys fill me in still. I've been seeing bits and pieces. This Pogba thing, fill me in.
So Chicago, this is rumors. So Juventus are willing to sell Pogba this summer for just 10 million. That's from @Gazetta_it. Or I don't know if that's it or it's IT as well. And that's it might be Gazette_IT. But yeah, I did hear this on Twitter. How true this is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how reliable this source. I don't know how reliable this source is. And I knew Eddie would be on this and be like, "Yo, bring Pogba back." I'm not with this, and this is not a shot at Pogba's talent. Pogba's super talented. Injury prone. He's barely played for Juventus, even for 10 million. There's no point in running this back a third time, man. Let Pogba go elsewhere, whether that's somewhere else in Europe, whether that's Saudi Arabia. Yeah, because David Tarr said it. Pogba coming back. Rumors trending. I would take him back at United. If he could stay fit, if he had played at Juventus, I'm all for this. Him next to Casemiro, he can't stay fit. Like he can't stay fit. Go on, Rhino. Your thoughts on this? What are you saying?
Listen, man. Listen. We should learn from listen, just the thought of it is traumatizing me. Listen, we should learn from the Ronaldo situation, man. Don't go back to the ex, man. What, third time? I don't think a club's done this. Third time. Nah. And the injury, listen, Martial needs to go. So we can't be seeing more Pogbas coming in as well. Pogba's what I like about Pogba is very strong. He's got a very good hold-up play. And I don't know. I don't think he would suit our system, to be honest with you. The way we want to play, I don't think he suits that system. So that's what I got to say. Like, please, people, man. Let all the sentimental Pogba fans, just let it go, man. Let it go, please, man.
Yeah, it's sentiment. Like it sounds good when you just say it, but then when you actually delve into the topic and actually like address it and start asking questions and discussing it in a deep manner is not the correct thing. Yeah, Pogba for 10 million, quality baller, get him in. Can't stay fit. You know what I'm saying? And that can't stay fit. Doesn't suit what we're trying to do. Nah, man, it's a wrap. Like, it's what are you saying, Ivorian?
Hell no, bro. Like, I mean, look at it like as much as we love Pogba, we're all fans of Pogba. We love him. You love him, Flawless, and I'm sure Rhino as well. When he was there, we loved him as well. Yeah. But we knew that time that he had when he was coming close to the end, we was like, you know what, you need to go. Like, just for the sake of your career, you need to go because. Of course, with a Pogba, it's many things with Manchester United fans. Some people don't like him because of who he is and what he does, or maybe I don't know, maybe if you know what I mean by that, but the way they treated him at times, or maybe it's his religion, you just don't know. But he was never favored when he was at Manchester United, and even though he's an academy player, people forget that. But you look at Pogba right now, the amount of injuries, and I don't know if it's the witch doctor that he saw with the amount of voodoo he tried to do and it went all wrong. That's ever since he left Manchester United, it's just been injuries after injuries, missing the World Cup and all sorts, just bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. And we are in a situation where we've got rid of all of our errors, soap dramas with the Ronaldo, with the J
Yeah.
Links, with the Paul Pogba, the David De Gea. All
Yeah.
Maguire's still a problem here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? We just want to get rid of that toxicity so we can bring the positive vibes back
Fresh
at Manchester
start.
United. So again, we don't need Pogba back. You know, as fantastic as it is, 10 million. Listen, let's move on, man. No one takes the X's back 3 times in a row. Like, it doesn't make no sense. There's a reason why you broke up twice. Yeah. First time may have been a mistake. Second time was like, nah. This is no mistake. We're breaking up this time, bro. But the third time you take someone back, no, there is something wrong. And Pogba, again, my friend, I think we need to stay away from that. You know, it's just not healthy for us. It's not good for us.
Yeah, it's not. It. As much as people say, like I said, talented. I see Eddie Pogba FC. We alive. It sounds good. It sounds great.
Good. Yeah,
It sounds
good.
fantastic.
So you start thinking about it.
For 10 million, but he can't stay fit. He can't stay fit. That's just legit what it is, man. And that's just unfortunate. If he was playing ball and was fit and available, I'm here saying, yes, bring him back. But can't stay fit. Look at the ball we're trying to play, even though him and Casemiro on paper sounds wonderful. That sounds like an absolute treat. But
Beautiful.
you don't stay fit. Yeah, it sounds like a thing of beauty. But we've been here, done that. We know he can't stay fit. And I like Pogba. Big fan, like I say, super talented, but nah, man, it's just not. It just doesn't fit what we're trying to do. But the reason why I'm not hearing Pogba, no Pogba disrespect, because he actually helped us win trophies. So let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm not hearing no Pogba disrespect. He's just an injury-prone player. So to everyone who was like, oh, he's faking injuries, he doesn't want to play, we've seen that's not the case. Because you think he moved back to Juventus, where he had his most success and didn't want to play. No, some players are just injury prone. We're seeing it. Rhino mentioned Martial. Martial's the same. Some footballers, some athletes are just injury prone. Yes, can you do things to prevent it? If it's the same injury over and over, yes. But some people are just not built for high-level sport. And I think that's Pogba. Because when he played for Manchester United, he helped us win a trophy. We won a double that season.
Mourinho will tell you that we won a treble.
Oh yeah, he can't. Yeah, that's outrageous. That is outrageous. Counting the community shield.
It's a trophy for him. It's a trophy.
Yeah, it's a shield. You know what I'm saying?
We see armpits on that day. Did we not flawless?
Hey, if that shield shield's not full of vibranium, I don't count that shit. You know better have some vibranium in that. That better be Captain America's shield or a shield from Wakanda or something. Like, this is not what we're doing. It's really, really not. Flex Felix says, didn't he say when we offered him 300k was disrespectful? Not to my knowledge, no. When did he? Again, you'll have to pull up.
Yeah, I think he did some sort of interview and he was saying about how he was mistreated and whatnot. Even all of that, man, please, bad energy, stay far away, stay far away, man.
Well, I think it was more so when he was talking about that, it wasn't the amount, it was the timing. Because I think we let him run down his contract. How dare we be offering the likes of Phil Jones new deals and let him run down his contract?
This club, ManDem, this club.
I'd feel disrespected. You know what I'm saying? If you offering Phil Jones new contracts who don't play, but you letting me run down to my last, and I'm one of the better players, I would feel away, and we all would. Let's stop this shit. We've all got jobs now that are like in a workforce or worked in a workforce. If you're one of the best people in your workforce, but yet they will, I don't know. It's like your workforce giving the people who aren't as good as you a raise. And don't give you no raise. And you're like, I'm producing twice. My production level is twice of his or hers. And you're giving them a raise, but not me, or giving them a praise and not me. Why are we acting like we wouldn't care about that? Of course we would. Of course we would. Just because we're footballers and we're on 200k a week, 300k a week, they're human beings. It doesn't mean that they don't feel disrespected or they don't feel away. But yeah, we moved. And to Vaughn, who says on the quiet, we've let Rashford's contract run down too. He could talk to foreign clubs in Jan, I think. How long has he got left? I think it's 2 years. I don't think it's 2024. I believe it's 2025. But somebody in the chat, please let me know. Because we will talk about that. I think it's either 2 years or it's a year with an extension. And I swear we've been in talks with Rashford as well, to my knowledge. Like there's talks of a new deal being on the table. Because people were talking about it a few weeks ago. Because people in the chat were saying it was too much. I know that. I remember this.
Do you know what's interesting about the Rashford thing?
Yeah, go on.
Like we're going back and forth with his talks with his contract and whatnot, and then now we're hearing the PSG news again. It's like something's a bit fishy there, you know. But we'll see, man.
Because it makes sense. Because obviously the reports came out, because we were discussing this yesterday on Doing the Most, because we were talking about Kylian Mbappe leaving PSG and what Leonardo said. Well, allegedly said, etc., etc., and them moving on Mbappe and Rashford being one of the ones who they would want to replace him makes sense because they're the same profile. Do I believe Mbappe is better? Of course, but if you sell an Mbappe, bringing in a Rashford makes sense because Rashford's going to give you in terms of profile and style what Mbappe is.
I'm so happy you said this because I was saying this to somebody and they were laughing. They were moving like I'm delusional. And certain things that Rashford was doing in his peak moments last season when he was scoring loads of goals, Mbappe would do the same thing and will be applauding it. So yeah, I can definitely see. Ten Hag said it from the start. He said it, you know. So yeah, man. Yeah. But you know, is it a little tactic from his camp? You know, just to make sure we secure. You know, yeah.
Because we should be all over that anyway. Because even yesterday when I was doing the show and there was people in the chat criticizing Rashford, and I was like, why? Last season Rashford had a good season. Why are we criticizing him? He has a poor season. We criticize him, rightfully so. He has a good season like he did last season, and we criticize him. No, don't praise that man. You know what I'm saying, don't critique him and criticize when he's playing well. He had a good season last season. He carried our attack. Let's not do that. I'm saying he carried our attack last season. Because if we were to do player ratings right now and went through the attacking players, no one ain't getting higher than a 6. Maybe Garnacho. That's it. None of our players. Me and Eddie did the player ratings, and we did a part 1 and a part 2. And the part 1 was all the defensive players, and the part 2 was the offensive players. You should see the difference in terms of the energy and how we're talking on those 2 separate shows, and how high the numbers were on part 1 and how low the numbers were on part 2. Like, let's not do that. Yes, does Rashford have his faults? Yes, but every player does. Like when we're just talking about Onana and every goalkeeper making mistakes. And someone was like, oh, Rashford's not technically gifted. I said, there's very few players in Europe who are technically gifted. That's not Shaw Rashford. Very few. Haaland, who's broke every record known to man this season just gone and will continue to break every record known to man, is not technically gifted. That doesn't mean he's not technically good. I said Saka is not technically gifted. People just throw out words like that. Like you mentioned it, Rhino, in the chat when you said same way people throw out world class. And it's like, that's correct. Like there's very few players to me who are world class. Very few players who are technically gifted. Very, very few. But I've already your thoughts on it. We'll go there. Rashford. Obviously being linked to PSG, yeah.
I don't really believe in that kind of news of him being linked to PSG because I don't see it happening at all. This guy's Mr. Manchester United, man. If he had the opportunity to tattoo that, he would probably have done it a long time ago. I don't see it happening at all, man. I see him renewing his contract. Maybe this is tactics in order to get the contract that he wants from Manchester United. You know, maybe if this was a season beforehand where he had one of his worst seasons and he was really, really low, looking down under Ragnick as well and Oli as well. Let's not forget Oli was also involved. Then I can probably believe you that maybe he'll leave, because that was a time where we was all said, you know what, if we get decent money, a decent offer for Rashford at that time, let's sell him. But now where he's at his best, at his prime, and he's found a manager that can truly release his true potential and teach him all that he can learn from him and become the player that we all want to see Rashford become. Because before we had compared him to Mbappe when he first burst into the scene, and when Mbappe was there was at that similar level, and then Mbappe became clear off of him, you know. So yeah, man, I just see it as Rashford using it as a scheme to get a new contract. There's no way Mr. Manchester United himself, who's born and bred, would leave Manchester United. And I don't see him. I see Rashford as a player, as long as everything goes well, flawless, his whole career at Manchester United, you know, because we don't get them anymore. We don't get those one club mans. And I see in him that he's a one club man, you know. There's nothing better than this, man. You're living your dream, you know, of since you was young, always wanting to play from your boyhood club. It doesn't get any better than that, you know. And then if you're winning trophies in the middle of living your dreams as well with your boyhood club, and when I mean trophy to Champions League, there is no way Marcus Rashford leave, man. He will retire here, and he will get his new contract. It's just tactics right now.
No, I hear you. I don't see him leaving as well. Do I believe that PSG links is real in regards to them stating if they do indeed lose Mbappe, which I think they would look at Marcus Rashford, yes, but I don't think he'll leave. I think we'll get a new deal done. Because even before these links came out, there was reports of Manchester United offering him money. Because like I stated just before, I remember people in the chat complaining about the amount that was reported. Because I believe it was 250 to 300k for Rashford. But it's like, we've been talking to him, get the new contract signed. I'm all for it, and I think we will get that deal done as well. Big up to Belial as well, man, who became a member of the channel. Much appreciated. My guy just became a Sarcasm citizen. If you want to join the membership, the link's in the pinned comment. Many great perks, so make sure you check that out. 3 different levels on the membership: Sarcasm Citizen, Sarcasm City Soldier, Sarcasm City General as well. So make sure you check that out. And there's never seen before an old footage that's out as well in regards to old football show views from the dugout, old Sarcasm City podcast content as well, like full shows that you can go and watch. People, I think there's like 12 shows, something like that you can go and see. So go indulge in that content as well, and I'll be releasing more over this month and over August as well, because there's content that's on the channel from when we switched over from being a current affairs channel to football and sport. So there's so much content for me to put out. So yeah, man, make sure you check that out, people, as well. And just to RJ, obviously, you just got here late. He says, would you bring back Pogba to United for 10 million? We're just discussing this. No, I'm not with it. I wouldn't, as much as I love Pogba. I'm really, really not with it. I'm really, really not at all. Like, what are you saying about it, Rhino, to add? Obviously, I know you spoke on it briefly, but yeah, the Rashford, would you like to see him get a new deal, stay? And then
yeah, I'm 100%, man. You know, Rashford is Manchester through and through, man. That's our poster boy, man. You know, I don't see him leaving. I think he loves the club. You know, he's in love with the club. You know, like Fabrizio says. You know, so yeah, man. And you know, for me, I think if we give him a kind of contract where he's earning higher than what he was on, but the I think I want to see play-based bonuses. You know, if he gives us the same games, the same form that he gave us last season, plus more, listen, I'm all for it. Give him a bigger contract. I just hope that the once he gets a better contract, he sustains his play and he plays even better and he plays more across the length of the season. So, what can we say? 60% of the season, maybe 70%, he did well. If we can see like the early 90s, if we can get like a 90% rate of him playing good across the whole season, and obviously that's going to matter. We have to factor in rotation and squad depth and whatnot, because that's another thing that let us down last season. Yeah. We didn't have the depth. The players got run to the ground. Yeah. Players were in the wrong position. We got Eriksen playing as a 8, you know, Eriksen's a 10, you know. So if the players get the right rotation and right mentality, they've had one season under Ten Hag. They're going to have new players around them. If Rashford can do it again for us, give him the contract, man. But yeah, I don't see him going anywhere, and I wouldn't want him to go anywhere. I love Rashford, man. Still, yeah.
Nah, facts. I ain't trying to see Rashford go anywhere. Like, that's legit what it is. Hey, large up everyone that's tapped in. Continue to get your questions in. Please keep them Manchester United related. Let's bump up these likes as well. Over 80 of you in the building. Only at 43 likes. Let's get us up to 60 likes, people. Like check 1212. Pay the toll when you enter the city of Sarcasm, people. So let's bump up the likes. Get us up to 60 likes. Please share this across all of the socials you are active on. And also subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. We're at 7,000, I believe 166, looking for 4 more subscribers, people. So get us to, yes, we are. So get us up to 7,170. Make sure you subscribe to Ivorian's channel, Red United TV. Make sure you subscribe to Rhino's channel, Rhino MG TV. Both links are in the title of this video, people. So click the links in the title, opens up new tabs, and then you can go subscribe to their channels and find all the socials as well. Let's see what else. Yeah, like I say, Rashford ain't leaving, Jason. I hear you in the chat as well. But captaincy, we'll go to that. Because there's a lot of talk about that, and it kind of ties in to the Harry Maguire situation, because that came out yesterday, and obviously I discussed it in depth yesterday. Reports came out stating that Maguire's going to have a sit down with Ten Hag and discuss his future. Rhino, floor's yours. Thoughts on everything I just mentioned there.
Listen, as Eddie said, I didn't even mention Maguire for a reason, you know. It wasn't like I just forgot. Like, he's not part of my plans. Forget Ten Hag's plans. He's not part of my plans. And this whole nonsense of him training 3 times a week, 3 times a day, bro. Listen, respectfully, Maguire, please, man. If you need me to come to Manchester to pick you up and bring you back down to London, if you want to come play for a team in London or, you know, West Ham Hammers, go to the Hammers. They just got a European trophy, you know? Like, and jokes aside, Maguire, man, I don't see him. Cool. What the problem with our club is the wages we give these players. We give these players stupid wages and we find it hard now to let them go. I think we are one of the worst clubs with letting players go and even making money back from players. We don't do it. So, yeah, I just want to start seeing that. If we can get a little light 50 mil for him, 40 mil, take the L and move. If we have to pay for the rest of his contract, let's do it. I want to start seeing this kind of change at this club, man. You're not made for our system, Maguire. You might fit a perfect system for... You might have to go back. I don't know what... Listen, I don't even care where he goes, man. Just not us, man. Tottenham. I heard Tottenham... Listen, yeah, go and link up with Dyer and them man there. I don't mind,
Dyer
man.
Maguire and that
Dyer Maguire. But yeah, man, he's not fit for our system. When he plays on the ball, he brings everyone's confidence down. And what? Onana and go with Maguire in front of him. Please don't. Nah, man. It's not working.
So you're saying move him on. Ivorian, what are you saying? It was like Rhino mentioned it as well. He's been working with Ricardo Carvalho to try and improve his game. Like I said, he's back for talks. People do forget as well that he is currently 5th choice, and we are looking at Axel. Yes, we've been linked, so he's 5th choice. So we barely see him anyway. And if we do sign another centre back, technically it'd be 6th choice. But Ivorian, your thoughts?
First of all, let's pick up Maguire for his strong mentality that he has to believe that he has an opportunity to get his place back as 1st and 2nd choice centre back. You know,
and Ivorian, wait, even just to mention, he says he doesn't have to prove nothing to nobody. The cheek.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, do you know when I saw the videos of him training with Ricardo Carvalho 3 times a day, I was like, this guy's really trying to stay here as well, working at his absolute best to ensure that he has a place here. Again, I welcome the news that's coming in regarding Maguire's future, his captaincy being up for talks. It's been in doubts. And at the end of the day, I hope that conversation ends with, when are you going to leave from the manager? Because we've been wanting you to leave for a very long time. I've put you 5th place. I've said stuff in the media where I said, he's the captain of the club, but he really wasn't. All sorts of stuff like, not. But the one thing he had this tell us is that captain doesn't mean that you play, which he was right about that. But back to Harry Maguire, I'm with you right now. I don't think he's got the quality. He is not the Manchester United player. He's not a Manchester United defender. I don't think he's got the qualities. I've always questioned his ability to play out from the back. The amount of times the English media say that he's fantastic at playing at the back, fantastic in the air, and I've never seen any of these things, especially for set pieces. The guy's the worst when it comes to headering the ball, you know. And the amount of injuries he's caused on our players as well, it's alarming and it's worrying. But I welcome him here. You know, I truly believe the fact that when I read the news of that Manchester United offered him 10 million for him to walk. Yeah, I was hoping that was true.
Yeah,
you know, and I was saying to myself, big man,
we didn't go. Yeah, we didn't offer him. They were saying that's how much it would cost
for his contract.
That's how much it would cost. But yeah, go on, carry on.
But you know, one thing I have to say about Maguire, one of the reasons why he's still hoping he can stay here and have a career is because people don't know it, but Harry Maguire is actually his whole family and himself are actually Manchester United fans.
I didn't know that.
They didn't know that. Yeah, they are actually Manchester United fans. So he's living his dream and captaining the club that he didn't deserve to captain as well after 6 months of just being here, which was a bad decision by the previous. I don't even want to talk about him. Yeah. That guy there.
Previous what? Can't call him a coach. Previous what? Like...
Yeah. So I welcome him. I hope Harry Maguire gets sold this transfer window because recuperate some of the money. To me, I'll be honest with you, if we had new owners, I told our owners, listen, just cut your losses, just cancel his contract and pay him off and tell him to go, man. Because I don't see anyone bidding 40 million for him. No one 50 million, 60 million. I don't see it happening. So just cancel the contract, bro. It's one of those situations where you have to cancel the contract and just say, you know what, go. Do it. Do it. Eden Hazard on him, please, man. I don't see it happening, man. I want him out. Like, rest in peace to Claude, but it's time to go. Like,
Hey, R.I.P. the great man Claude, man. It's time to go.
it is. No, I think everyone, when you see Maguire on the TV screen just sit on the bench, I think it pisses off everyone as well. When he's warming up to come on, it pisses a lot of people off. So like, it's just not good for our hearts, our soul, our health as well. Just tell him to go.
Sanity.
It's not. Because as soon as Maguire comes in, oh, here we go. We might lose.
Here we, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Remember, let's not forget Seville. The moment he came on, it was 3-3.
Yeah. Seville was, yeah. I was thinking more the second leg, but I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying, but I spoke on this yesterday and I speak on it again today for those that missed it in regards to him working with Ricardo Carvalho's all well and good. Him fighting to stay for his place is all well and good. And like I said yesterday, and I will continue to say, it's not on Harry Maguire to get Harry Maguire out of Manchester United Football Club. It's on Manchester United Football Club to get rid of Harry Maguire. If Harry Maguire is still here and he's playing games, that's on the club. That's on Ten Hag. Because Ten Hag don't have to pick him. The club don't have to keep him. We all know if we really wanted him gone, we could pay off his contract, could put him on the transfer list. We could offer him to clubs. This could happen in those talks if Ten Hag does stay and says to him, look, you're not going to play, which he's not. So that's why even with him staying, I wouldn't be happy about, but it wouldn't bother me as much because we barely seen him last season. Like I said, it took an injury crisis. It took both Martinez and Varane and Luke Shaw and others all to be unavailable, because there's times where Varane and Martinez were both injured and Luke Shaw and Lindelof played ahead of you. Like, people forget that. Like, Luke Shaw was legit ahead of you. Victor Lindelof was legit ahead of you. And then there's times Varane then got fit and then it'd be Varane and Lindelof and then Luke Shaw would play left back as well.
That's important to note, Flawless, that we moved a left back into your position before we considered even putting. That's
basically telling you that you need to go. That's me telling you that you need to go. I don't
give credit to Luke Shaw as well because he performed.
Yep.
I give credit
and big up Ten Hag for identifying that as well. People, that's really underlooked. As soon as someone like Stones, listen, big up Pep. I don't want to even go into this conversation with this whole Pep, but you know what I mean? Like, give credit. Oh, Arteta did move this person in. Okay, Luke Shaw got me. You know, manager in the Luke Shaw. How long has he been at the club for?
More than 10 years.
And did any of us see him ever playing centre back? So
I thought Ten Hag had lost his mind when I seen that, because I remember seeing it on the team sheet and it was like,
well, I said, was it against City? Was it against City? City, you know,
against Haaland, you know.
I was like, what is going on? Because Martinez was fit, but I think he was coming back from injury and he was on the bench. Because he did it once and I was like, this is crazy. And it worked out one time. I was like, all right, maybe it's just going to be one of those one-offs. And then he did it again. And I was like, what? And then it worked. And again, that's why he's the manager and gets paid big money to make those decisions. I like Luke Shaw as a centre-back. As a left-back, no. As a centre-back, I have no issues with him. I think he's a great... He's great backup to Martinez, 110%.
Yeah.
Like we said, people don't want to credit Ten Hag for doing that, but that was very smart. But yeah, with Maguire, it's time to move on, man. And somebody asked in the chat as well, like in regards to, let me see, 1 second. Let me get to it. Someone asked, let me see if I can find it. Hold up. Yeah, it was Wall who says, is it strong mentality or delusion? It's strong mentality. People just don't like it because it's Maguire and because we don't think he's good enough. But let's say this was Casemiro working with Gattuso, for instance. I just use that, trying to improve his game. If he was working with a legend like Gattuso or a Clarence Seedorf, we'd all be here waxing lyrical about Casemiro.
No, but Flawless, you know what it is for me with this whole mentality thing? I feel like his room was messy all week. His mum's been telling him off. Now he's been threatened to be kicked out of the house, or he's got a girl coming. Now he wants to tidy up his room. That's what I feel like it is, man.
Hey, ManDem, no.
Remember them times.
no person tidies their room quicker than when you got a girl coming around.
Trust me, bro.
Nobody.
I'm telling you,
that shit is spick and span. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me,
100%. Vacuum clean up. You know what I'm saying? Breeze the bread, change the sheet,
polish
the whole nine, fam. Distant places, all of that. All the cups and plates out of the room, the whole nine. 100%.
And
I
then it
know the
starts
man has a man.
raining, and then she told you that she's not coming anymore.
Damn it.
The worse than the "you're gonna hate me" text. That's it's peak. You know what I'm saying? And that it's peak. But now I hear you in regards to that. Maybe the pennies dropped. You know what I'm saying with him in regards to, because he was talking too much. Like I'm saying before, there's like things he's saying, like you mentioned it. Oh, I don't need to prove myself. I'm Manchester United captain. I play for England. I'm clearly good enough. When the reports came out saying that he needed pace around him and he needs people to lead around him, all these type of things. And I was saying, well, there's no accountability in any of these reports. There's never, I need to do better. I need to improve. I've not been good enough. Whereas what this shows with Carvalho is that he's not him saying it, but he's showing that. Again, I'm not sat here saying he's going to be good enough, but him going to train with a Carvalho, who, for those that don't know, one of the best centre-backs we've seen in the Premier League, easily one of the most underrated, played for Chelsea, played for Porto, played for Real Madrid, top quality centre-back, Ricardo Carvalho. He's trying to improve his game, which lets us know he's like, I need to improve to get back in the team, which is, you got to give credit to Ten Hag for that, because he's dropped him. And he's like, oh shit. And the fact that he's having talks is like, I want to know where I'm at rather than just sit and be disruptive. If he was as happy as everybody's saying with just being at Manchester United, why would you have talks? You'd happy just to be sat there. He wants to play. Of course, we all think he's not good enough, but he wants to play. So like I said, now it's on Ten Hag when they have that conversation to say, you're not in my plans. It's best for you to get a move because I'm not going to be using you. Because we have been linked with that Axel Diassi. Obviously, we got a link with Kim and Jay earlier in the window. So we are actively trying to sign a centre-back, which makes you sixth choice. Because you got Varane, you have the new centre-back, you have Lindelof, you can all play right-sided centre-back. You got Martinez, you got Shaw. That's 5 centre-backs in front of you. That's 5. Yep. Like, you're going to be sixth choice. When are you going to play? So hopefully he does move on. But we'll see. We will see.
Oh yeah, and I did even answer your question in terms of captaincy as well.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah.
But yeah, when you're ready, yeah.
No, right on, go on. Yeah.
Already now, yeah. Who would I pick as captain? I'm happy with Bruno being captain. You know, I know Flawless has his reservations with Bruno. You know, but yeah, in terms of what changed my opinion with Bruno is an interview that I watched when he was addressing why he's a bit whiny and why sometimes he comes across as negative, and it kind of put a different perspective with how I look at his moaning and stuff. Like even when Gary Neville was saying that, oh, he was complaining, and then we found out later on that he wasn't really complaining about that specific thing. I feel like sometimes his mannerisms and the way he looks comes across negative, but he's that passionate player that, you know, he's not going to let nothing slide. Obviously, I don't like when he does certain things, like when he had that little situation with Garnacho and stuff. I hate little things. Was it Garnacho? Yeah. Little things like that. Was it Garnacho when, I think Garnacho said something and he kind of fobbed him off, like, or he complained about something. I'm sure. Let us know in the chat, people. But yeah, so there's certain times where he's not perfect, but just in terms of the ambience and how he uplifts everybody and what I heard he does off the pitch as well, I wouldn't mind him having an armband. But yeah, someone like Martinez would be great. But I think Ten Hag was saying that he likes his captains kind of towards more involved in the game, if that makes sense. Hence why he wouldn't make a goalkeeper a captain or something like that. So
okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, Martinez is at the back, but I feel like his energy is infectious as well. So yeah, Martinez, Casemiro, or Bruno. If I had to pick one, I don't know. Can we give the captaincy to somebody that hasn't been in the club that long?
We've done it with Maguire.
Oh yeah, we did. You know. Damn.
I suppose it's your if you're captain, like then it makes sense because it's not like we have. I always say with captaincy, we don't have too many great candidates. I think we have a couple candidates now. But yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah, I think I could stick with Bruno. I wouldn't mind Casemiro or Martinez, you know, and maybe Rashford could be a shout, but I don't know how he is in terms of his. You know, you saw him picking up Martial when Martial was sitting on the floor. Was at the FA Cup final, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, so if I had to pick one, yeah, I think I'll stick with Bruno, you know, just in terms of just how it's been last season, and hopefully, and he's worked on a lot of his negatives as well. So, yeah, man. But I just hope he doesn't disappear in games, man. He needs to start being that main person where we see him, because big games he goes missing. Listen, I don't want to make any analogies, some cheeky analogies of how missing he is, but yeah.
He does. That's not making analogies, man. It's cool. You know what I'm saying?
It's a bit rude still.
It's all right. We're here for that, bro.
Ivorian, what are you saying in regards to the captaincy? Because it seems Maguire isn't going to be the captain, or let's say hypothetically he's not going to be the captain this coming season.
Mm-hmm. I'm with Rhino on this one. I have to 100% say the captain that we currently have right now in Bruno Fernandes is the right choice, you know. Again, there's negative because I've never seen any person that moans and whines more than my woman in the bedroom. And I see Bruno himself whining as much as he can. That's the truth, though. It's the truth. There's no jokes about it, bro.
Don't worry, your gal don't watch the show, I'm guessing.
My gal don't watch the show, so that's why I say what I have to say. But yes, going back to Bruno Fernandes, the reason why is because Bruno's got the experience as being as captain.
Hold on, sorry, this is
I was about to say that missing like the milk carton.
I said you saying Bruno goes for that milk. And
I know. Never comes back. That missing.
Oh my day, that's funny.
Left a milk and never came back. But yeah, go on, carry on.
And the reason why I go with Bruno Fernandes is because, of course, as a captain right now, I think Manchester United, the dressing room, I've kind of adapted to him being a captain as a vice captain. Yeah, and he's got the mentality. When I say the mentality, he gets onto you as well. He gets onto your players. And I know him as well. He's got his own flaws and his own faults as well. But he gets onto you. He encourages as well. He motivates fans and as well his own teammates as well. So he knows, and he was the captain at Sporting Lisbon. So there is experience there. And again, he's one of the fan favorites as well. We've got songs for him. And I can't say I'll give it to anyone else. If I was to give it to Casemiro, the only problem I have is the language barrier with Casemiro.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Can he not speak English too tough?
Have you seen him do an interview yet?
Hey,
I've seen everything in Portuguese.
Hey, Paul Scholes was here for years and didn't do interviews. And
that's
different. That's what I'm saying.
Case,
he might just be like, I don't want to really do interviews. Some players are like,
no, it's just that I've never heard a word of English come out of his mouth, even when he was.
I understand.
Yeah, so I think it could be a language barrier, which I'm very sure he's learning English. So the moment he grasps the language fluently, then I can see him as captain. Martinez. Again, like Rhino, his energy, leadership is infectious. And again, not every captain that's a captain needs to wear the captain armband. You can be a captain in your own department where you are in defense, in midfield, and up front. And again, as the more captains we have within our team, the more successful Manchester United can be. Because you look at the era of Manchester United and the success we had here, you look at every player that left Manchester United, they went on to be captains of that football club. We had 7 or 6 captains within our starting 11 that you got the Gary Neville, you had Roy Keane, or maybe you had a Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja who were both captains. Ryan Giggs, Scholes as well, and Wayne, they were all leaders, and that's what Manchester United need. All leaders that can lead and motivate each other, and that's what championship winning sides do have within their 11. So I'm not too bothered about who's the captain of Manchester United, because to be captain, you don't have to wear the captain armband. He can lead without the captain armband, which is the truth, you know. So yeah, man, I'm happy with Bruno Fernandes if it happens.
I fully hear what you're saying. Yeah, because Rhino mentioned it in regards to the captaincy. I'm not really too fussed because I think people overestimate the importance of it. Like people are like, oh, who should be captain? I said it yesterday. I've said it before, and I say it again now. If you display captain-like attributes, you're not gonna get the armband and display even more. Like we all look at Casemiro. He's captain-like. You're not going to give Casemiro, for example, the armband, and he's going to do more. He's going to display those captain-like attributes regardless. I put Lisandro Martinez in that bracket. Those two, it is the language barrier thing. People are mentioning Antonio Valencia in the chat, which is a fair point. However, if it is Bruno, cool, because we still have a Casemiro on the pitch, Alessandro Martinez on the pitch, a Varane on the pitch as well. So I'm not really too fussed about who the captain is, because you're still going to display captain like some of the players you mentioned, Ivorian, were captains before they got the armband. You mentioned Rio Ferdinand. He was captain like before he got the armband, as was an
As
Nemanja
well.
Vidic, as was a Evra, a Gary Neville, Giggs,
Mm-hmm.
Scholes. Roy, the list goes on. We can name players from recent times, from the mid 90s, late 90s to early 2000s, etc. If you display captain-like attributes, you're going to display them regardless of if you have the armband or not. So
Exactly.
that's why I'm not really too fussed. Will it probably be Bruno? Yes, because I don't see Maguire sticking with the armband because I don't see him playing. So he'll probably give the armband to Bruno, which I suppose on the face, it makes sense. Bruno's going to play number one. And then when you look at it with the language barriers, potentially with Alessandro Martinez and the Casemiro, but they lead anyway. So it doesn't really make too much
And
difference.
availability, I think, is quite important to factor in as well. Yeah.
Availability is definitely a point, and that's something Casemiro. Martinez obviously got injured late, but he was available more often than not. Casemiro available more often than not, as is a Bruno as well. So I don't really, as is a Varane, even though he's a little bit less available, but he played much more, you know what I'm saying, and impacted the team when he did. And he leads by example, because Nick said it there, our captain is a player who leads by example. Some lead by example, some are more vocal, some are a mix of both. I just want you to be a good captain. So I'm not really too fussed in regards to who gets the armband. With Bruno, I hope if he does become the actual captain, it improves his game. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Hopefully it improves his game. Hopefully it gives him more responsibility and he decides to pick up his game and stop going missing. You know what I'm saying? Stop going for milk and never coming back. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Like, hopefully. Pick up to Jez as well. Like, do I see that happening? No, but he did improve last season. But hopefully this coming season he does improve. And maybe him playing as an 8 and not a 10 improves his game further. Because I do believe he is a better 8 than he is a 10. And this style of football that we're going suits him more down to a T, rather than have to get the ball through the lines to him. That's not his game. But one thing he can do is run. And that's one thing Mount can do is run also.
Yep.
So, and we'll see with that. Large up Jez in the cut as well. Everybody in the chat, continue please to get your questions in. Just keep them Manchester United related. Don't forget Ivorian's channel, Rhino's channel. Both links are in the title, people. So you click the links. They open up new tabs. You can do that right now. And then you can go subscribe to Ivorian's channel, go subscribe to Rhino's channel.
Yeah, you know what, people? I'm going to subscribe to Ivorian right now.
Man, go subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? And you lot go and subscribe to both, support all of the gang as well.
Yep.
And bump up the likes as well, people. We are at, let me check, 53 likes. There's over 70 of you lot in the building. Let's get up to 70 likes. Like check 1 2 1 2. Let's hit that like button and subscribe as well if you are indeed new. We are at 7,166 people. Looking for 4 more subscribers. There's over 70 of you lot in here. I know there's at least 4 people who have not subscribed. Get us to that subscriber mark. We're at 7,167. We're looking for 3 subscribers now. Get us to 7,170, please. And don't forget, link for the membership is also in the pinned comment. And if you do indeed super chat, we'll get straight to your comment or question as well. David says, Bruno has too many bad games to be the captain. If we have a good bench, Bruno going to be the first change during games, because you can't have 5 out of 10 games at number 10. One, David, I don't think he'll be playing as a number 10. I hear you in regards to him having too many bad games, but I don't think that affects too much. Like I said, it don't really matter. Like City, who's City's captain? I don't think it affects City's game.
I don't think it does, man. They have so many captains, bro. They change it every season.
City's game, like Arsenal, like when you look at successful teams, it doesn't really matter. So whether it's us, whether it's City, whether it's Arsenal in the past, Chelsea in the past, Liverpool in the past, like Liverpool's captain was Jordan Henderson, for instance. But they still have other leaders on the pitch, like Van Dijk was a leader, Alisson was a leader, Mane, Salah, like these men were leaders regardless. Fabinho was. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference. And to Starlord says the Bruno hate is unjust. I don't even know Bruno hate. Who hated on Bruno? Are you talking about this comment from David?
Oh, I don't remember us slandering Bruno.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be talking about David. You know what I'm saying? But Starlord and Bruno stand. And the thing is, I don't hate on Bruno. I just talk about his poor performances and people don't like it. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you smiling, because you know I'm right.
Just trying to throw you in there.
Yeah, exactly. Let us go. Let us play Liverpool this season at Old Trafford and win 7-0 and Bruno's the star, man. What are people saying in the chat and saying to me? So on the flip side, when we go away to Anfield and lose 7-0 and he's one of the worst players, we're going to call him out. Same when we go away to City and get packed 6-3. If we beat City at home 6-3 and he's the star and role, it's see, this is why you shouldn't hate on Bruno. People want to have their cake and eat it too. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
It can't be you play well and you get praise, and then you play poorly and there's no criticism. I don't do that. I'm fair across the board, especially if you're one of the better players. If you're top class, if you're world class, if you're great, if you're the captain, and this is why we should build a team around you and the hate isn't just and I'm gonna hold you to those standards. People don't want to hold good players to good standards, or great players to great standards, or world-class players to world-class standards. This happens, notice this happens with Bruno. This happens when we talk about Harry Kane, when I've criticized Harry Kane. When I say, all right, he's world-class, so let's hold him to world-class standards. He should have delivered a trophy for Spurs. People are like, well, look at the team around him. Don't make excuses for that, man. You don't need a world-class team to go win a Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
We don't have a world-class team.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have a world-class team. Far from it.
Facts.
We know, and we won a Carabao Cup. I've seen Wigan win an FA Cup. Ask the chat to name the players in that team. They couldn't tell you. Name me the world-class players in that team. Like, what we doing? That's why Paul Jewell was manager. This is why I'm not hearing it. People say, oh, the team around him is all crap and You don't need world-class. You went out to Sheffield United and Nottingham Forest in the domestic cups. You don't need top-class players to get past Sheffield United or Nottingham Forest. Like, and that's what it is with Bruno. People always want to cuddle him. And it's like, nah, man, this is big boy men's football at the highest level in that. Deliver. If you deliver, I show up. Because when he plays well, I go, you know what? Bruno was good today. But again, people have their stands in. I don't stand no player. Forget all of that. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, I wanted to get to a question as well. Someone had a question. This is from earlier, actually. He says, question for Ivorian and Rhino. Are you tuning in for preseason? We'll go to you first, Ivorian. Are you tuning in for preseason?
It depends what time it is, man. I actually do work as well, you know. So I think that's more like for Rhino Rhino and Flawless who stream past 12 p.m. midnight, they're the ones that's going to be doing the live watch-alongs for the Manchester United preseason tour in the US.
Just got to clarify to cut you off. I will not be doing any preseason watch-alongs. That's why Shakar didn't ask me, because I've been asked this question and he knows I'm not doing I don't tune into preseason.
I think I'll be doing I just think I'll just be watching the highlights, man. I won't be tuning into preseason matches, especially when it's 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning for me, man. I gotta work. So if it's a weekend, possibly we'll see. But I don't see myself doing it. So what about you, Rhino? Do you see yourself doing anything like that?
Nah, man. Are we going to watch boxing or something? It's just not even that, man. Sometimes I'm intrigued just to see, you know, when we have new players in, just how their movement is and the chemistry of the club and whatnot. But so I think it depends on who's the lineup as well and who's playing, and if I'm just actually awake. If I'm awake and it's a decent lineup, I might give it a little watch. But yeah, more than likely, I'll probably just tune into the highlights still.
And I have posted, guys, in the comments, the 26-man squad that's been released for the players that will be traveling for the US tour as well. So have a look at that. You know, the star players are not there. Some of them are there. You know, there's no Marcus Rashford. The one key thing that I've noticed that there is no Dean Henderson, but we've seen pictures of Dean Henderson training with Manchester United last week. So there's a possibility that he might be leaving us, and which he should. You know, I still remember that interview when he said that if the manager saw me training, he would have asked me to stay. You know that with that kind of attitude as well. But it's okay when it's someone like Henderson. But if it was Pogba talking like that, he thinks he's all that. Look at his attitude; it stinks. You see what I'm saying? But yes, yeah. Should I read you out the team that's going out, Flawless?
Wait, what are we playing today?
No, for the tour. They're released the 26-man squad.
I don't even know where we're touring.
The US,
I think we're playing tomorrow, you know.
I've heard we've got Leeds are also in Denmark or Norway, where Oli resides, in it. I don't know why we keep going there. But yeah, goalkeeper-wise, Tom Heaton, Nathan Bishop, Matic Kova. Defenders, Alvaro Fernandes, Reece Bennett, Will Fish, Mark Gerardo, Lisandro. He's still here. I
remember Will Fish from a couple seasons ago, preseason. But carry on. Go on.
Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Brandon Williams. Midfielder Toby Collier, Fred, Dan Cole.
Wait. Hold up. Did you say run the defenders again? Wait, no Lindelof, no Maguire.
no Lindelof, no Maguire.
Okay,
I said it right. They might be joining us later on during the preseason. You just never know, including new signing. Let's hope that we have the new goalkeeper in there. But back to midfielders: Toby Collier, Fred, Dan Gore, Hannibal, Isaac Hansen, Aaron, Kobe, Mainu, Mason Mount, Oyedele, which is Maxi Oyedele, Charlie Savage, of course, you know who his father is, Ahmed, Noam Emeran, Omari Forson, Joe Hugo, Jordan Sancho, and Shola Shortore as well. So again, the squad can expand because people we're hoping we'll have players joining us during the preseason. New players. We're hoping. We know Manchester United, they'll do it after everyone returns back and get back to the UK like they did with Casemiro, Ericsson, and Martinez. When you want them in preseason, mixing it up. Yeah, that's the squad, guys.
I don't know half them players. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't lie to you. I was hoping you weren't gonna ask me no questions because I was thinking,
under 23 players. Do you know what? Yeah, Flawless. You know what? Yeah, since
it's looking like Pro Evolution lineup, bro. I just see some madness.
Thanks.
It's true.
Yeah, like
maybe Eddie can do your watch along in the States since it's in his stateside, and he can wake up at an appropriate time and do your watch alongs.
I am not watching that. I don't care. I don't care for what's it called preseason games. I really don't. The only thing is the indication of like where a manager might play players formation. Like you get an idea of what his thought process is or could be potentially going into the season. But people, for those that don't know, I've stated this before, don't watch alongs. Don't ask me no questions about no preseason games like before or after. I'm not watching. I'll catch the highlights of the goals. That's it. I'm tired of people getting hyped up over, you know what I'm saying? I've seen it so many seasons over and over again. People getting hyped up in regards to preseason games. And then it's like, that was Zidane Iqbal because he played this preseason just gone, right? The last one. And then he got sold. And I think that's where people expected him to play and he didn't end up playing for whatever reason that is. And now he's been sold, even though we do have a buyback clause, I believe, and we have a sell-on clause as well. So, yeah, I'm not fussed, man.
Hey, Flawless, quick question, I see, I'm going to use your terms as well. I see people waxing lyrical about thingy. What's his name? Who was we talking about the last time? And remember when I was talking about the fact that we've sold players that maybe we should have kept, but then sometimes it's a thing where we just get, because we've had such a bad midfield, we don't realize that the players that have been sold on were actually not good enough anyway. Because I didn't watch the England.
Angel Gomez.
Not even Gomez. Who the guy we used to have, man.
Was it Ghana?
Ghana, I heard that. Yeah, I heard did he play well? Because I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, look, why did United sell him? Look how good he was, whatever." That's one of your thoughts on that.
Yo, people doing too much, man. These players are not, like I said, people vastly overrate our academy. For 2 reasons. One, because of the class of '92, which is a one-off and won't happen again in our lifetime, and two, our love and attachment to academy players because they're one of us, quote unquote. Yeah. And that's where it stems from. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. That people assume very few academy players make it at the top level. It's a handful that actually come through the United's academy, get into the first team, and our first team. It's like Rashford is not the norm. And not only get into the first team, but get into the first team and are good enough and have success. Rashford's the only one in recent times. Lingard was here, was in and out of the team. McTominay is deemed not good enough and has had no success here, even though he's played games in regards to, we haven't had a season where he's been the starting central midfielder and we've won anything. Who else? I'm trying to think. And like, that's where you get it with Zidane Iqbal. You get it now with Kobe Mainoo. I'm not saying all these players are not good enough.
You got the Alanga guys as well.
You got Alanga who's played, like, people do. Oh, James Garner. He don't play for Everton.
Yeah.
He was at Watford.
Yeah, it's stinking.
He was at Watford. I know Watford fans who were like Watford season ticket holders. And they were like, he was nothing special. Didn't stand out.
True, and under 21 as well. True,
in the championship. So that's what it is. Like, people constantly act like youth players are better than what it is. And then people will talk about other teams' youth players, like City, for example. Oh, look at all the players City sell for good money. They are one-offs. If you have 20, let's say you have 20 people in a class, if they sell 2 of them for big money, that's not a major amount. Like, and if we would have done what City have done with Romeo Lavia, our fan base would still be going on about it now. We could have do the show.
Yeah.
If we had sold someone of that caliber for 13 million, number one. Number two, put a buyback clause that didn't activate till the next season after, our fan base would be like, look at us improving our rivals. Because he's going to go somewhere. Whether it's Liverpool, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's Manchester United, he's going to one of these clubs and he's going to improve them. That's a mistake on City's part. But yeah, people always say this. Yeah, man, I mentioned Charlie Savage. I don't know, innit? I just know that I take what our fan base say with a pinch of salt because we vastly overrate our youth players. Oh, this is what people are. Oh, yeah, play Kobe Mainoo next to Casemiro, really, in an unsteady team.
Kobe's not ready, man.
Like, I'm not even saying he's not good enough because
he just needs to come into a set foundation. Yeah.
Let him go on loan or something like that. People vastly, you know what I'm saying, and that vastly overrated. You know
and that's one thing that I'm very big on. I feel like if Man United was a chessboard, number one, we're missing certain pieces of the board, and number two, some of the pieces on the board are not good enough. So at least let's fill in all the spaces, even if it's players that are not the best. I just want to see all our spaces filled and every person of that space doing an adequate job. Then once we've set that foundation, then we can start improving on the quality, you know.
It is, and big up Eddie because he's been on my case ever about this ever since this Zidane Iqbal thing. Like, he's been on my case about this ever since this deal went through. We should have had world-class Zidane Iqbal. This wouldn't be a conversation.
What, is he a fan of him? Yeah.
Nah, he's just running bants because I've been like, when we sold him, and he's been like, yo, watch your mouth how you talk about world-class Zidane Iqbal. But he understands where I'm coming from in regards to it because people act like we sold Zinedine Zidane. You know what I'm saying? Not Iqbal. People act like it was Zinedine we moved on. And again, if he's good enough in Holland, I believe we have a buyback, or if he gets sold on, we have a sell-on clause. We get some money for him. But like I said, and I've stated before, outside of Pogba, what youth player have we let go of in the last 20 years who's actually gone to the top level? Like Pogba, you can say he went to the top level. He played at Juventus, man won Serie A's, man won Coppa Italia's, man reached Champions League finals. He reached the last stages of the Champions League. Like Pogba's the exception to the rule.
Do you know why he's on to me about that? Because I've said, I barely see any Arsenal players who come out from the academy, go to the first team, have a successful career at Arsenal, and don't just die out like those other players have done, And I was naming a lot of these players that have come through the Arsenal academy, gone into the first team, and died straight away. Whereas we've had a lot of players that's come out of the academy and have had a successful career at Manchester United and won some stuff. The history doesn't lie, But Arsenal, you got players like, what's that Frimpong guy that couldn't make it, and he was talked about. You look at Jack Wilshere, another example, The only prime example of an Arsenal player ever coming out of the academy was Ashley Cole.
Yeah,
and being successful, and even going off and being successful elsewhere.
But big up One Touch, you said, "Oi, flawless." No, this is what Ivorians responded to people. Oi, flawless. Don't let Ivorian Spice get away with it.
Don't mind him. Don't mind him. Don't mind him.
In your academy. Don't let him jump on your wagon. I got receipts just in case. Hey, big up to One Touch. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. And One Touch, shout me as well, man. I need to get you on the channel. I do. I did message you, but I know you're a busy man. I see you with the setup and everything. You know what I'm saying? The screens around you doing big things. Go subscribe to One Touch TV. Great channel, people. So make sure you do so. But yeah, like people just vastly overrate it. And Emma, if people looked at the academy like this is how they, because this is how I look at it. The academy is there to, Manchester United's academy is great for producing professional footballers. There's Carrington graduates all across football, you know what I'm saying? Whether that's the Premier League, whether that's Championship, League One or League Two, that's what it's great at. But in terms of where Manchester United are trying to go, we are looking for the 1% of top footballers. We are looking for the elite of the elite. So the chances of that 1% coming through your academy is slim to none. This is why mine is Rashford. We had Greenwood. They're the only two I can remember who came through. Pogba as well, who came through in the last few years, who, like I said, have actually reached the top level. Pogba's the only one we let go. James Garner, who everyone was waxing lyrical about, can't play. He's on Everton's bench. What are we talking about? Is it Everton battling relegation? Everton's bench, he don't start for them. He's not better than the Idrissa. He's not better than Onana, and he's not better than who's the other. They play another midfielder. He ain't better than Iwobi. Let's call a spade a spade. Like he's not. Like let's see, he's not teared up no trees anywhere. Like all these players, Zidane Iqbal is going to go, and Angel Gomez, who I'm a fan of. I like Angel Gomez. Like I said, I knew about him from young because I know his cousin. Good friends with his cousin. He's gone to France. What's he done in France? He ain't pulled up no trees over there. Nothing for the level we're talking about Manchester United. Like people just want academy graduates in the team to say we got academy. Scott McTominay is a player we all want out. Not good enough. But he'll go elsewhere and play. He's good enough to go play in the Premier League elsewhere. Probably Everton, ironically. You know what I'm saying? And, like what we talking about?
Hey, what Flores, do you think people like McTominay that will move to these respectfully lower clubs? Do you think they got their pride will let them move?
Yeah, because Scott McTominay, we've heard reports coming out saying he wants more game time. Because Scott McTominay to me seems like the type of player, and this is just me from the outside looking in, who wants to play. Yeah, and he's good enough to go and play elsewhere. He's good enough to go to a West Ham and play elsewhere. I don't.
What about Maguire?
Football. Maguire's the same. He can go elsewhere. If
you think? But do you think the way he talks in interviews and his mentality? Do you think he has that kind of that smart thought process to say, you know what? Let me do it for the love of football. Let me make sure I'm getting first team game football. Would he move? Can you see him playing for West Ham or Everton or whatever?
I can. That's why he's here. That's why he's reported to be having talks with Ten Hag.
Stuff like that. Yeah. I just hope he just moves, man. Please, man.
Like that's
please, bro.
Yeah, like he gonna move. And one touch. I'm not about tonight at 9, but we're defo saying 100%. Like I'll get back on your channel. I need to get you over here as well, 110%. But I'm not about tonight at 9, but we gonna make it happen. It's legit, actually, people. I am on Big Six Bants at 6:30, so in just over 15 minutes, people. So shout out Months, Corey, the whole Big Six Bants gang as well. But yeah, legit, that's what it is. People just overrate the academy. But in regards to Maguire, yeah, I think he'll move because that's why he's having talks with Ten Hag, because he wants to play. He's not. I think Phil Jones is the exception. I think most players want to play. I think most players are like, all right, as much as they like being at Manchester United or being at a big club, say at Arsenal, at Liverpool, at City, etc., they want to play football. They do, because Maguire, one thing about Maguire is he believes in himself. Yeah. He fully believes he's good enough to play at the top level, without doubt. He really, really does. But I think that's everything.
Speak it, man. Speak into existence, my guy.
I think it will happen. I think we've covered everything. Anyway, let us know in the chat. Final few questions, Ryan, or anything else you want to add that we've not discussed. Manchester United related.
That's pretty much it. Well, I see a lot of comments mentioning Sancho. If you guys want to know my opinion,
go on,
I think, me personally, I don't know. Well, to be honest, this is my opinion anyway. I just feel like, he deserves another season, Okay. If you look at it, in my opinion, he hasn't had a consistent season under a competent manager yet. First. So he came under Oli. We all know what kind of manager, coach Oli is, and Ten Hag, he had a 2-3 months gap, and sometimes that affects players and their mentality and obviously whatever's going on in his outside of football life. So yeah, man, I just want to see him do another preseason, have a full consistent season, no breaks, and see how he gets on. And yeah, maybe you might have to consider moving him on maybe January if he's not doing too well or whatever. And I feel like I said on previous streams as well, he needs certain players around him. He needs to be in a system. So I would just love to see how he adjusts. I would be willing to give him a chance. But at the same time, if he had to go and we got a good price, I wouldn't be. I'll hold on a bit, but if you kind of convince me, I'll say, okay, you know what, sell him, man. But if I had to pick a side, I'll keep him still. I'll lean more to the keep side in opposed to the selling side still.
Who are we talking about?
Sancho.
Sancho.
Your thoughts, Ivorian.
Like I said before, I think I'm with Rhino, because again, I would. It's the Men in Black thing for me with the first season because of who was in charge. Yeah. I give him the blight of that. Like, let's forget about his first season because the guy even wanted him, didn't even know how to use him and didn't even play him and spent almost 80 million. You see what I'm saying? So this season that was gone past, okay, there's been interruption in the middle of the season where
Yeah.
we don't know. We know that the personal reasons were probably mental health or family issues or something like
Yeah.
that. So I can blind that. And I liked what I saw towards the end, but
Yep,
there's so
same.
much for Sancho to prove to us because we want to see that Sancho in that system thriving and doing 1-2s with the fullback and etc. Because with the side he plays, the fullback don't commit to the byline.
They don't.
Sure,
I've been saying
sure
this.
don't commit. Don't do anything. Interact with Sancho. Even Aaron Wan-Bissaka, not the best. So if when we get the proper fullbacks, maybe we can see it. But as I said, Rhino said, if someone offers us 60 million right now or 50 million, a good decent fee for him, we'll probably take it, and then reinvest that into somewhere else. Because again, this is his final season where he needs to prove to us that we've made the right choice, Because another season of this, that's 3 seasons. After 3, strike 3, you're out. So it is what it is. There's no time to play no more right here, especially with my manager, Eric Ten Hag. We've seen it. He don't play games. He can tell you you're my favorite in public, but behind closed door, you're getting sold tomorrow. We're not playing.
I hear exactly what you're saying, fam. In regards to the Sancho thing, it's like, if we got a good offer, would I sell him? Yes. Am I actively saying, oh, he needs to go? No. But the issue I have with, like, not an issue, but the problem Sancho has, I said it before, I say it again, he just don't fit the league. It's the wrong place. He's just at the wrong league at the wrong time. Yeah, man. It's a pace and power league, man. And that's not what Sancho has. That's why I don't criticize him for not having that, because it's never been his game. He's not a pace and power player. He's, like I've already said, he's a link-up player, which is all well and good, but that don't fit. And on top of that, the reason why I don't see him having this breakout season people are talking about is because he's not going to play. I'm saying it looks like we're switching to a 6-2-8. So you got Mount and Bruno, they're going to play. Rashford's going to play from the left. Anthony's going to play from the right. We're going to sign a striker. Where's he getting game time? Consistent game time,
rotation,
week in,
I reckon.
week out. Yeah, like he's going to rotate, but then even then, Garnacho's ahead of him on the left. If we bring back Diallo's ahead of him on the right. And then if we bring a backup 9, or Rashford might play in the 9, where's he going to get game time like that?
Maybe they might think about pulling him in an advanced number 8 position with the 6-2-8s. As you know, he can play number 10. He can play as a number 10. We know he can play as a number 10.
Yes.
So that's what the advanced number 8 who strives a bit forward and finds the spaces. But we just don't know.
But Mount and Bruno, they always available, so they're going to play more often than not. He's not going to get a run there is the point I'm making. He's not going to get a run, so that's why I don't see him improving. And if we got a 40 million or anything north of 40 million, I'd move him on. I'd move him on 100%. Like, because it's time. Like, again, you got to cut your losses. I have no ties to any of these players, like, from before Ten Hag was here, minus, like, Varane, Rashford, they've performed. But other than that, Sancho is time. Because people always make, and I like Sancho, I'm a fan of him, like, he's talented, but the reason why I don't hear with the manager thing, we've watched Martial play well under Oli. We watched Greenwood play well under Oli. We watched Rashford play well under Oli. We watched Pogba, Bruno all perform to a level under Oli. So that's why I don't even hear the manager thing, because we watched these men perform under worst manager. It's like, that's why, I give him a blight the first season, because it's your first season. I always do that. That's why with, like, Malacia, Anthony, first season settling. Like, for me to write you off after the first season, you must have been terrible. Like, showing me nothing. Like, dropping 0s, 1s, 2s out of 10s, where I'm like, but I've seen enough from those two to, like, all right, I give you second. But Sancho's your second season, and what did you give me? Glimpses. Liverpool game, Leicester game. That's it. And to Vincent, who says he's sitting on ridiculous wages, I don't think he has any motivation to improve. I believe that's incorrect. And I believe that's just a myth. People talking about his mentality and his motivation, I don't think it's a lack of motivation. What have we seen to say that? Did he not turn up to training? I think he's just that laid-back character, and people associate that with not being bothered. And how I know that is because that's my character. I'm laid back. So I've been accused of that in the past. Oh, you don't care. You know what I'm saying? You're not motivated. No, it's just my character. Just because he's not a Rashford, you know what I'm saying? Or Bruno, who will run around, and to say he's alive, that's over the top. Criticize him for his football. Cool.
You've got another prime example. You just said that Martial. Oh, he doesn't smile a lot.
Yeah.
Well, he must not be bothered. Yeah.
I don't think it's a lack. I think it's just a lack of. It's a lack of, like I said, pace and power. He's not. That's not his game.
You're right.
It's not his game. So to say, he's a lack of motivation, I disagree, because there's nothing to back that up. There's nothing to back that up in terms of a lack of motivation. I don't think it's his
I
knowledge.
think we
That's
lost a
never
bit of
happened.
flawless.
Oh, you lost him.
Oh, my
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, you're back now. You're
Yeah,
back
you're
now.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me playing around with the mic. But yeah, we move.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, I've already mentioned this. And yeah, Tyson Fury confirms next fight against former UFC champion Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia on October the 28th.
Money ting, innit?
And then Nick says Tyson Fury would rather fight Francis Ngannou than get in a ring with Usyk because he knows Usyk will hand him his ass. I don't think Usyk will hand him his ass, but he knows how much of a difficult fight that is without going this. But yeah, speaking of this, well, I'm glad you brought this up, Nick, because I'm bringing back the boxing show as well on the Twitch people. Big fights, big nights only podcast. Friday, 12:30 a.m. So half an hour after midnight, it will be back. We'll be doing previews of all the this first one will just be back talking all things boxing and all the latest news. But going forward, previews will be Friday, and then you'll get recaps either the Saturday night or normally the Monday night. But I will keep you lot posted. And that's not on the YouTube, that's on the Twitch people. So Sarcasm City TV, Twitch. I've been meaning to bring back the boxing show. So I'm bringing it back this Friday, people. So we'll be discussing obviously Fury versus Ngannou, AJ White 2. Usyk versus Dubois, Spence Crawford, and answering all your questions as well. So if you're a boxing fan, people, that's going to be a regular show, but it'll just be the biggest bouts. But yeah, so like I said, those 4 fights that I mentioned plus more as well. So make sure you lot tune into that, and it will be available on the audio platforms as well as all the shows on here, including this one. So if you want to listen on audio-only platforms, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV and this show, and all the other shows on the YouTube channel, apart from watch-alongs, are available. So like I say, if you want to listen while you're at work, while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're on your way to work, you might be at the gym, or you might just not want to have the YouTube app open. SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, type in Sarcasm City TV, and all the shows will pop up on audio only platforms. But yeah, I think that is everything. I think we have legit discussed everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
Everyone who is locked in. Jess says, quick question. Do you guys believe Martial will be moved on?
Bro, I'm praying. Listen,
I don't know. I legit don't know. He needs to be moved on, Jess. But to answer your question, I don't know. That's what I'd say. But yeah,
so, man.
Move on. But Rhino, always great having you on, my G. Let the people know where they can find you, what you got coming up, all that good stuff.
Nah, thank you for having me, Flawless, as always, man. And big up Ivorian, though, man. I could you Ivorian, though. Big up Ivorian.
That's all right, man. I trying to do like the same thing to me. I was like, you, man.
No, but you know what it is? Because I'm in the music industry, I've always got names in my head. So, yeah, big up Ivorian, though. It was a pleasure being on the show with you as well. Man. I like your opinion as well. And yeah, Rhino MGTV. Listen, people, I'm trying to be more consistent. You know, we got the heavy motivators in the building. So, you know, I'm going live tonight. I should be going live probably around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., depending on who else is live. I'm trying to find the right slot. I might go do some spontaneous lives this week as well. Lock into my Let's Talk series as well, where we talk about like relationships and other topics. We talk about music and whatnot as well. But yeah, Rhino MGTV. And as always, Flawless, big up for having me. Big up Ivorian as well, man. Yeah. I've subscribed to Red United. You guys subscribe, man. Bump up the likes, you know. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime, man. You already know. And you look, Rhino and Ivorian's channels both in the title as well. Ivorian, my brother, always good chopping up with you. Anything you want to add, what you got coming up, all that good stuff.
Of course, we've got some more Manchester United short videos that I've been releasing last week and this week as well. Anything breaking news, I'll be making a short video. I should be going live again next week, Monday or possibly Thursday. But if not, I'll drop you a short video. But big up, I've also subscribed to Rhino. Rhino's got that voice, you know, that can, you know, when you watch those YouTube videos that do the voiceovers and all that kind of stuff, you know, telling you stories and all that kind of stuff. You
the narrator voice, man.
Yeah,
got the narrator voice.
The proper narrator voice as well, man.
I've got that narrator voice. Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. I'm excited. I've already subscribed as well. I can tell that he does current affairs and also Manchester United. I can tell by the titles and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to enjoy that content. But for you guys, make sure you subscribe to Red United TV. Follow me on Instagram as well. Ivorian_Spice, and follow the official Red United TV Instagram account, which is Red United TV 1.
Make sure you do that, people.
And subscribe to the channel.
So make sure you follow all the ManDem on their socials. Like I said, you can find it through their titles as well. And Nick, make sure you're over for the boxing show on Friday as well. 'Cause I can see, I forgot about the Canelo Charlo bout as well. We're back tonight, people, on here. I'm trying to fit a fan calling show on the Twitch. It's normally 8:30, but it might be a little bit later. It might be 9:30. So keep a look out for that, people. But I'll definitely run the fan calling show on the Twitch, 9:30, 10 p.m. And then we're back at midnight for the ManDem United crossover, the first of the week, ManDem United Analysis at Anfield podcast. So talking all things Manchester United and Liverpool with my Dons, Saint and Ram people. So love to everyone who has locked in. We're going to raid Big Six Mans. It was supposed to be 6:30, but I think they're live at 6:45. But just keep a lookout for that, because I'll be over there soon. As for the ManDem United, it'll be back Thursday, people, 4:30 p.m. Obviously, you get the shows every Monday, every Tuesday, every Thursdays, 4:30 p.m. And then Fridays is the 10:30 p.m. That's the late one with Eddie. But love to everyone that's locked in. This has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up.
Peace.